Hi there. As you've probably already figured out, most of my videos are pretty much unscripted. Occasionally I do write myself some notes, occasionally I do check some things while I'm doing the video. My editing skills are limited. I don't spend hours and hours getting the videos just right, so mostly what you see is what was shot. And sometimes, I must say, sometimes the results can be rather interesting. I've had a few people suggest that I might need professional help after my my gear video, number 3, the oh dear, it's gear on camera bags. They were appalled by the number of camera bags I own. Now, in my defense, they were collected over a fairly long period of time, but that's a very weak defense. I still have way too many. On several occasions here, I've spoken about what is commonly referred to in photography terms as gear acquisition syndrome, or GAS. I was a victim. I think I'm getting better. I have, for the most part, stayed away from buying extraneous camera gear and related items. I do admit that yes, I did buy that camera bag. But for the most part, I've been doing more to move out equipment than to actually gain more. At least that's what I tell myself. I don't know how successful I am at that. But the point is that I think we all need to really sit back sometimes and just evaluate why we are in this hobby and what's so important about it. In my last regular video, I mentioned the fact that my history in photography started out really as a gear geek. I really started out fascinated with cameras. It wasn't that I was a photographer. It wasn't that I was fascinated with the image as much as I was fascinated with the tools. That's not the best way to start. But due to a gap in between where basically I became a family archivist, where my biggest job was to make sure that I had lots of pictures of everybody as they grew up, that changed things. When I got back into photography as a hobby, I sort of got right back on the gear train, and finally came to the realization that I was actually enjoying the process of taking pictures now more than the gear I was using. I was enjoying playing with the gear, but not because I liked all the shiny knobs and buttons, but because I could get some strange angles and I could try some different shots and I could see just what I could get from this little box that I was carrying around with me. So I started transitioning from being a gear geek to being a photographer because of that gap in the middle where I was forced to just be the family record keeper. That little gap actually changed my photography because suddenly there was a purpose for it. And that purpose was to build a family history. Now, I've spoken here before about the idea of doing a photography project. I've done little projects in the past. I've tried the 365 thing, which is really, it becomes a chore and therefore it's not that much fun, even though I did finish it. I got into the Lego Me, which you may have seen some examples of in some of my other videos. Lego Me became, or I should say has become, because it's still ongoing, a project where I have a Lego man that was built by my son out of parts that he found that he felt looked like me. So Lego Me ends up posing for many of my fun pictures these days. That's a little project. You need a project. my big chunk of time there where I was recording the family was, unknowingly, a project. I had a project that I didn't even know existed. So, am I cured from all this gear geek nonsense? Of course not. However, I'm taking a much more sensible look at it now. Nowadays, I'm far more interested in the product than I am with the tools. And that is the first step towards the cure. Anyhow, don't worry about me. I will deal with the camera bag issue. And when I said my wife was always upset, I don't mean she's always upset at me. She's just always a little put out by the number of camera bags. So maybe I can make her happier by getting rid of a few of them. Well, if you like this video, please give me a like. If you want to see more of my videos, then of course subscribe to this channel. And if you want to spread the word around, go ahead and share it. Well, bye for now.